Hey, this is Suzanne Mosley with Usborne Books and More. You can find me on Facebook at Suzanne Shares Usborne Books. You can also find me on YouTube at the same spot, Suzanne Shares Usborne Books. So I'm excited to be with you today. Looking forward to hearing from you. Today I'm going to show you some Usborne titles that will work perfectly with Classical Conversation Cycle 2. So I am CC Mom. This will be our 5th year to do CC, and we love it. And as an Usborne Books and More consultant, I love having Usborne books readily available for my boys to use just to read more about whatever we're learning in CC. So our books pair so well with CC. So I'm going to highlight some today. And first up is the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History. And just also a side note, I have several videos for CC that have Usborne books for CC. So definitely look around my whole YouTube channel to find those. And there's actually, I bring that up because I have a whole video dedicated to this one book. So I'm just going to highlight it briefly for Cycle 2 here. But this is a wonderful, it's just inclusive encyclopedia that you can use actually with all 3 cycles. We just finished up Cycle 1 and loved using it and are planning to use it again this next year for Cycle 2. So as you can tell for Cycle 2, there's a whole section here for Medieval World. So this is going to be fun just to read through, just read aloud. I just read it aloud with my boys to give them a little more information because they love history about what we're reading. And for Cycle 2, you know, we go all, I wanted to show this too, we go all the way to the World Wars. We go to apartheid abolished in South Africa, and that's mentioned here. Even U.S. astronauts walk on the moon, which is on our timeline. So this is a wonderful, wonderful resource. It's internet linked, so that means there's an Usborne website you go to, you type in the page number that you're looking at, and it gives you more information about that topic. So like with Cycle 1 this past year, we used it, and we looked up some more information about ancient Egypt, and we were able to see artifacts from the British Museum that had to do with ancient Egypt. So that was really cool. So you're not just buying an encyclopedia, you're buying access to these other resources just to give you even more information about whatever historical topic you were reading about. So this is the Encyclopedia of World History. I just want to highlight too, this is the library edition, so it's really big, and it's the most expensive one. But there is one that's smaller in size. It's kind of from here down. So it's physically smaller, but the content is exactly the same, and it's only $19.99. It's such a great deal. So I highly recommend this one. And then I also just like to highlight the first section is the prehistoric world, and it highlights evolution. So I just like to give a disclaimer about that as well. But as CCers, we are introduced to that on the timeline with Darwin and the Origin of Species. So just to highlight that. Another just precious book for younger kids to introduce just the concept of time and history and how things change. And this is Living Long Ago. And it focuses on clothes and fashion, homes and houses, food and eating, travel, and transport. So those 4 realms, it takes them, and it starts from the early days, and then as you go through the book, it shows how those topics advance. Like this is home, so this is a Roman town. Then it shows terraced home. So it just shows from a historical standpoint how things change over time. So if you have young children that struggle with understanding time and 500 years ago, this is a great book to use with them. Well, this is one of my favorite books, so I always look for a reason to bring this up. But again, I have a whole other video on this one, so go find that one. But this is the story of Inventions, and we do talk about Industrial Revolution, and it's a history statement. This book is amazing. Boys love it. I'm sure girls do too. I have all boys, so that's my frame of reference. But this goes through amazing just discoveries and inventions, like scuba gear. But I highly recommend this book. It will lend itself to talking about how things have changed over the Industrial Revolution. It's not mentioned specifically, but it is a good book to have some dialogue in that realm. And again, it's such a great book. I just had to mention it. Illustrated stories from Dickens. One of our history statements is the French Revolution. And this is a collection of books that Dickens wrote, and they're all abridged. But I just want to highlight this one because it does have a tale of two cities. One of our, the French Revolution is mentioned as a history statement. And if you're not familiar with the tale of two cities, the book is all about that. That's the setting of the book. And it's one of my all-time favorite books. So I just want to highlight that one too. Renaissance. This is, again, a history statement. This is actually a sticker book, which is so cool. So this gives a lot of just very interesting facts. This is a nonfiction title about what was going on during the Renaissance, how things changed. It highlights artists and paintings, and then these are the stickers. So each page has some spots where you have to go look up the stickers and stick them on the page. And just from an educational standpoint, when a child uses more than one learning style to learn a piece of information, so when they're reading a book, that's one learning style. But when they're actually like physically doing something, like putting a sticker on place, that's using two learning styles, and that is helping cement that information and even more into their little brains. So this is a great concept for introducing information about the Renaissance, because it is a sticker book, and so they're going to use both learning styles, and that's going to help lock that in their brains. Then just a couple of fun lift the flat books that are great. We do talk about explorers. Cycle 2, so it's Lift the Flap. It goes through kind of a history of exploration. It starts with the Middle Ages, Marco Polo. So some of this does go back to Cycle 1, but it's just kind of an exhaustive journey through time and of how explorers have explored and what they explored. And it's Lift the Flap, again, another learning style to learn information. So it'll help cement that. It even goes into exploring outer space. So this is it's a newer book, and it's a personal favorite. And then See Inside Famous Palaces. These palaces are all in Europe and Asia, which is kind of a fun tie-in with our geography because most of Cycle 2 is Europe. It just goes into more information about these palaces, where they are, why they were there. And then this is the Palace of Versailles, which is important in history. You'll find that out. Cycle 2. This is Catherine's palace, and this is Neuschwanstein in Germany. We went to Germany, and I had to learn how to pronounce that long word. So this is famous palaces, and it's great for Cycle 2. And then just two fun ones, since it is kind of medieval history this year for Cycle 2. If you have boys that love knights, I would highly recommend the Castle book. It's just information about what was going on during that time period, feudal system, how castles worked, knighthood, and then it's Lift the Flap, so it's so fun. Here they are having a battle with their lances, jousting. So that's a great one. Great. Love it, especially for younger kids. We have a similar one that we use for Cycle 1 about mummies, and it was great. So that's, look inside a castle. And then this is Usborne's Slot Together Castle. If you have someone that loves to assemble things like Legos, this actually, you can physically build this castle with all the pieces that are in here. And then there are little people that it comes with, and you can do battles, you can save the queen, all sorts of fun things. And it even has, so this book that comes with it is a nonfiction title. It just explains more what was going on in history and why they were fighting and what went on in the castle. And then it even gives like different battle scenarios as well. So that's the Slot Together Castle. That's a really fun one. So thanks so much for watching my video. I'm excited to share these resources with you. And you can find all of these on my Usborne shop, SuzanneSharesUsborne.com. And then also, if you're a CC family and you're watching this, contact me through my Facebook page, Suzanne Shares Usborne Books, and I have a little surprise for you. And it might have something to do with free shipping. So contact me through Facebook, and I will let you in on that little secret. So thanks so much.
Mom.